Fellow Grumps, I'm back again. How's everybody doing? This is going to be a little bit of a discussion about the two films that Blu-ray J assigned for me to watch for a little marathon. And he gave me a great horror film, a classic, The Silent Scream from 1980, of which I have two copies, DVD and Blu-ray. You may be asking yourself, why do you keep the DVD when you have the Blu-ray? Because when they put this out, for some strange reason, they forgot to put scene selection option on the menu. So I don't know why they would do that, but I like to be able to select my scenes. Anyway, the second film he gave me to watch, St. Elmo's Fire from 1985. All right, let's talk about The Silent Scream first. Now, I'm sure Jay gave me this movie because he knows that I like Barbara Steele. She is in this film. She has a nice supporting role. She comes in toward the end and she basically takes over and tries to kill everyone in sight. It's sort of a, well, I don't know what you would call a typical slasher film, but it is kind of a slasher film with a lot of young people getting punished for having sex. I guess, I don't know. They say that's the philosophy behind some of the Halloween films and Friday the 13th, and all these kids have to be punished because they're fucking. So anyway, I don't know. It's a pretty good movie. I went to see this when it first came out because I knew that she was in it. I was quite shocked to see her name on a marquee, so I wasn't going to miss this. And I like it. I probably would never have gone to see this movie if she hadn't been in it. But it's not a bad little film. Not only is she in it, but we also have Yvonne DiCarlo, who was a actress from the Golden Age, does a pretty good job. We have Avery Schreiber, who's mainly a TV character, TV personality, and Cameron Mitchell, another actor from the Golden Age. He's in it. Now, the interesting backstory about this film is probably more interesting than the film itself, but the director, Danny Harris, I don't remember all the details now because I haven't watched the commentary for quite a while, so I don't remember what happened. But Danny Harris made this film, and then for some reason he went back and reshot quite a bit of it. I'm not sure how much of it was, but he reshot many scenes and rethought the whole script and all that. And that's when he added the segment with Barbara Steele. She does a commentary on this along with David Del Valle, who is a film historian. He was also at one time her agent. So he was active in helping her to get this part back in 1980, and she was very happy to get it. She wasn't getting a lot of work back in the 70s, and she was very happy to get it, and also very happy that it was a silent part. She didn't have any dialogue, so she thought that would be kind of interesting to do. So basically, she's working in a silent film. Anyway, so Denny Harris went back and reshot all these scenes, and I think he made a good decision because she is really terrific in this. She's about 40 years old when she did this, and still looks great. But I think she did this without a lot of makeup and just let herself look really beat up, Didn't have any sense of glamour about her. She just wanted to give a very good, convincing performance of someone who was out of her mind and violent. So she did a great job. And yeah, I've watched this many times, and I still like it. So I'm trying to. Now, Rebecca Balding is in this. Now, I know she was sort of a well-known actress at the time, and I think she made some of the other horror films at the time. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else, but I remember seeing her name on marquees and all that sort of thing. But the other young actors, you have people like Steve Dubay, Julie Andelman, and an actor named Brad Reardon. I never heard anything else ever about these people. And Brad Reardon is the guy who played, if you remember the film, he played the nerdy kid with the glasses named Mason, who thought that he was Yvonne DiCarlo's son, but it turns out he was the son of Victoria, the crazy reclusive girl in the attic, played by Barbara. And of course that set him off, and he went crazy too. He was a hell of a good actor, and I don't know where he came from or what happened to him. I've never found his name anywhere on IMDb or anything else. So I don't know if he was some amateur they just found in some college class or something, but don't even know how old he was because he looked like a young kid, but he may have been several years older and just been kind of small for his age. But he was really something. I was quite surprised. So it would be interesting to find out find out something about him. So anyway, Silent Scream, always a pleasure a pleasure to watch these horror films. This is actually not nearly as violent as it could have been. A lot of the stuff that the murders and all that, they kind of take place sort of off screen, so you don't see that much. You see blood splattering, all this sort of thing. But it gets pretty violent at the end when Barbara comes in and takes over. But yeah, so there's a great scene in this where Rebecca Balding is in the basement of this house she's living in, this big house. And of course, all basements are creepy. But I mean, you should see mine. But this is a huge creepy basement. And of course, she's hearing noises and all that. And she finds this staircase that's kind of hidden that goes all along the wall of the basement, and it's all covered with cobwebs and all this. And it leads all the way up to the top of the house. The top of the house where evil Victoria is waiting for her. So that's kind of an interesting scene, a very long scene. But I thought it was a very well done horror film, and I like it a lot. Now, St. Elmo's Fire. Okay. I saw this when it first came out in 1985, and I remember liking it, but I wasn't crazy about it. I like all of these actors, and it's great seeing them again because I have not seen this film until just a few days ago. I did not see it in all these years, and I like all these actors a lot. It was nice to see them very young, when they were in their prime and all that. We have Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Mara Winningham. Who am I leaving out? Rob Lowe, and I'm leaving somebody out. Judd Nelson. Okay, Judd Nelson. We also have, well, that's pretty much it. Good actors, the Brat Pack of the 80s. And I had seen, I saw The Breakfast Club. I can't remember now if I went to see The Breakfast Club at the show or if I saw it on TV. I really don't remember, but I was a big fan of The Breakfast Club and went to see one of the other Molly Ringwald films. I can't remember which one it was. Pretty in Pink. I saw that, which wasn't as good, but it was okay. But I guess I was expecting another Breakfast Club when I saw this, and it wasn't quite the same. It's all about a group of college kids. I can't remember now the city where this takes place. My memory is so bad. I just saw it a few days ago. But they hang out at this bar called St. Elmo's, and they're all in their 20s now, and they're away from the college experience, but they're still clinging to it, some more than others. Rob Lowe is a guy who just can't find his way in life, and he still clings to that youth experience. He can't get away from it, even though he has managed to get his girlfriend pregnant, and they've gotten married, and they have a child, and he's not faithful, and he's a bad husband, he's a bad father, and the others are struggling, some more than others. Demi Moore is using drugs and in debt, and she's miserable, and she's sleeping around. And anyway, the movie is, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I didn't find most of these characters to be very likable at all. Now, Emilio Estevez is such a good actor, but his character is really insufferable. He develops this fixation on the character played by Andie MacDowell. It's a girl, a young woman that he had known when he was in high school, and he sees her again. He thinks that she is destined to be the love of his life, so he just stalks the hell out of her. And we're supposed to believe that he's somehow a nice guy for this, even though she tries to be just as kind and patient with him as possible. Even her boyfriend tries to be patient, but he is just really a total jerk. And this movie, directed by Joel Schumacher, says some interesting things about women. I mean, we're supposed to believe, I guess, that when Emilio Estevez follows Andie MacDowell and her boyfriend way out in the country to a skiing resort, and of course he gets snowed in, so he has to spend the night there. And he's acting like an ass to both of these people, even though they are trying to be calm and friendly and understanding. So the next day, when he's finally able to get his car moving out of the snow, because the boyfriend helped him, Andie MacDowell is pretty much saying goodbye to him, and I hope you have a good life. He grabs her and gives her a hell of a kiss, and then he drives off with this big smirk on his face. Well, she's looking off into the distance as if to say, "Wow, maybe he is the one for me. What a great kiss." Just a very, very interesting attitude toward human relationships. But the one that really gets to me about this movie that is so disappointing to me, and I know a lot of you won't agree with me about this, but the character played by Mare Winningham is a very solid, intelligent, moral girl who is unfortunately in love with Rob Lowe, who is the ultimate bad boy who just screws everybody over and can't get himself together. But of course she's crazy about him. She really loves him, and he sort of flirts with her and kind of uses her affection for him, but he never really reciprocates. And I think, is it just he or maybe some of the other people? They're teasing her about being a virgin, which she never says I am or I'm not, but you sort of understand that she is, and that's looked upon as being sort of a funny or bad thing, right? That this girl at her age is still a virgin. So at the end of the film, when Rob Lowe is finally sort of getting his life together, even though he's going to leave his wife and his child and go off to some other city, and he goes to see Mare Winningham before he leaves, and they kind of reconcile their friendship and all that. And she's very vulnerable to the guy, and he asks her for a going away present, which is the gift of her virginity. So what we're supposed to believe about this movie, what this is teaching people who watch this movie, that a woman's virginity is something that she gives away as a going away present to a dumb guy who is not going to make any sort of a commitment to her, does not love her. They're just going to get off, and that's all there is to it. I think that's a really, with all the beautiful 80s electronic music playing in the background and all this, and making it this big romantic scene when it's just really nothing but him using her and her allowing it to happen. I thought that was a shitty message to give to the people who go to see that movie, and that's probably one of the reasons why we're in such a fucked up world we're living in now. Rant over. Sorry, Jay. I know you like this movie, or you probably wouldn't have given it to me to watch. I know you really love 80s films. I didn't care for this very much, but I'm glad I saw it again because it gave me some things to think about. And don't mean to offend you. So thanks a lot, everybody. Comments are welcome. Go easy.